How do you make friends as an adult if you don't drink? Borrow tools and actually give them back. I've got to consider you a top-tier friend before I'm lending you any tools. A neighbor borrowed one of my cordless drills, and actually gave it back. However, I won't lend him any more tools. Why? He thought the drill was too dirty, so he cleaned it in a dishwasher. Edit. Inquiring minds in the comments wanted to know what happened next. First of all, yes, he washed it with a battery, so the battery vented. That's probably the only reason why he admitted to such unconventional cleaning methods. He had to come clean. He offered to buy me a replacement drill, but I've asked for a cash value instead. Bought myself a set of replacement bearings, new battery pack, then blasted a chuck with rust inhibitor, and now I have a like-new drill plus quite a bit of spare change. And a neighbor that always cleans his gardening tools in a dishwasher. You've got to be kidding. Why would any adult think it's okay to put an electric tool in a dishwasher? How did they make it that far in life being that dumb? How did they make it that far in life being that dumb? This is the question of all times. But ours especially. Have to have experience to get a job and a job to get experience, am I right? Slowly. Hobbies, community involvement, through work. Good luck. If you like doing things with your hands, wood / metalwork / fabrics, etc., electronics, or programming, hackcare / makerspaces are great. They usually have themed events and classes, as well as social events. That's where I made my current friends when I moved to a new city. Web link. Searches for my city no matches sad 3D printer noises. Double check nearby universities. They might not be listed in the city Google, but a lot of universities have spaces. Yep, get really into a hobby. Go to meetups and conventions of the hobby. Kind of difficult currently with COVID since it's cancelled and shut down a lot of conventions and meetups, but hopefully once COVID gets under control them start up again. I'm 35. In the last 10 years, I can honestly say I have 1 or 2 friends that I've kept close contact with. I started getting back into collecting sports cards right before the pandemic hit. Through sharing my passion through IG, I have made probably at least 20, online, friends and a few local friends now that I talk to every day, and not just about our favorite hobby. Crap is weird. Join a sports league. For example, we have. You can join things like kickball or cornhole leagues. Guys and girls play. If they don't have one in your area, maybe start one? Some people on Facebook started a golf group for people who like to play golf in my area. I joined that one to meet new people. You could start a tennis group or even a gaming group. There's a local place near me which is called, they have get-togethers for pool, tabletop tennis, chess, desktop games and even Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe look for a similar business in your area. I'm part of a book club. We meet online every month after reading a book and talk about it. I was introduced by a friend. Again, may need to search a bit. Even if you don't drink, you still can go to a bar. Order a club soda with a lime. No one is going to know you aren't drinking a vodka / soda. Web link. All of these are great. I just want to touch on number 4 as I am a bartender in a place that's typically very popular. You're more than welcome to hang out at a bar and not drink. Thrilled to have you, truly. You're going to be easy to manage and I know you're not going to get wasted. That being said, club soda costs very little and you probably get free refills. So if you go to a bar and just drink club soda, make sure you tip your bartender appropriately. If you hang out for 2 hours and have 5 club sodas, you'll get a bill for like $4. This means the 20% rule no longer applies. Try to throw your bartender $1 each time they bring you another club soda. It'll only cost you a few dollars and no bartender will scoff at $1 per drink. They'll be thrilled. If you're hanging out at a bar within a restaurant, the bartender probably makes more money off of people dining at the bar. If someone wants to sit at my bar for dinner and can't because Steve is here sitting with his club soda, I might ask Steve to stand up. I love Steve and I want him here, but this other guy wants a steak and a bottle of wine, and that's good real estate. I love my bar regulars who don't drink and they keep me and my bottom line in mind. So come hang at my bar. I think people underestimate how far a decent tip at the bar will go. and genuine conversation if they're not busy. I'm on ski patrol, and we all go to the bar after we close the mountain. I usually tip $1 or $2 with every drink. I can't tell you how many times the bartender sees me walk in and has my drink ready, or gives us the happy hour special if we are a few minutes late from closing. Treat them well, and they'll treat you well. Where's your bar? I could go for a steak and club soda. Haha, actually about to start at a new place. If this wasn't my more anonymous account, I'd tell you. I'm a regular at a bar where I get either soda water or the cheap utility beer, and if it ever starts to get busy and one of them asks me, hey man, I could use this space, I'm not bothered at all. I know they don't mean anything personally, and even with cheap beer, I've spent plenty of money there over the years. It also happens to be a barricade, so that's usually a good signal to go play games lol. I started inviting people from online dating sites who said they were looking for friends to play D&D. Some of them were actually looking for friends. I also started a fencing group in my area and advertised it in relevant Facebook groups. A few people showed up and now we occasionally do things that aren't fencing related. You guys do chain link or privacy, usually. This is what popped into my head first as well, just a bunch of dudes standing around a field driving posts in the ground just getting to know each other, haha. You laugh, but this is what rural landowners and farmers do periodically. Good fences make good neighbors and friends. I grew up rural and was involved in many group fencing projects. Good fences make good neighbors and friends, sounds like something Hank Hill would say. Good fences make for good neighbors is a very old saying. It basically means keep your crap and problems on your property, and I'll do likewise. It's a Robert Frost quote from his poem Mending Wall. I literally build fences for a living, and that's exactly what we do. Shoot the crap while driving posts and hanging pickets. No love for picket? Cedar and treated is so expensive right now. Some of them were actually looking for friends. I laughed way too hard at this. For the others, the role-playing session turned very interesting. I've made quite a few friends from online dating over the years. We get on, but there's no attraction. How do you pivot from strangers to dating match to friends? All I get is people I met and never hear from again. In my experience, it usually involves going on an actual date with them. Sometimes it's just not there for a relationship, but you can still appreciate them as a person, friend. Other times we end up following each other on social media and becoming friends through that. Way back when a certain site had analytics published and insightful blogs, it came out that dating, in the main, varies by location. My major metro is full of young, ambitious 20-somethings who've moved across country to make it. That's a different mindset than someone who has lived their life in a community and instead views the app as a way to meet across the sliding doors, the commuter that's always just 15 minutes later than you, the people who walked on the other side of the street, etc. So, while it may be possible, the likelihood and frequency in, say, St. Paul versus New York City are going to be way different. I used to live in a small town too. The online dating pool is like 40 people. And you know several of them. Can confirm laughing out loud, I live in a small town with 5,000 people and it really doesn't matter which dating app I go on. I can look through everyone near me in about 2 minutes, and then every match after that is at least 75 miles away. Or like a lot of communities, related to them. Had a cousin who lived in a small farming community that her family had lived in for generations. Puberty hit and she would see a boy she liked at school. She quickly learned she needed to double-check the name quickly with grandma to see if they were related. I grew up as an outsider in a community like that. 3 main families had inhabited the area for 150 years, and were so intermarried, it was almost impossible for the kids to not be related. I'm pretty sure there's an app for people in Iceland to see if they're related before they hook up. One of my best friends is from an island and the local library has a big history of the island/genealogy project ongoing, which is officially there for making sure the history of the island doesn't get lost, but apparently the main thing people actually use it for is checking whether they're related to someone they want to have sex with. One of my good friends came from Tinder. We met for 2 dates. After second date I asked him what's up. He said he is not attracted physically at all, but he likes hanging out. I liked hanging out with him as well. It's really nice and fun and relaxed. So from then on we hung out in many restaurants and trips abroad together as friends. He's a fun buddy to do fun stuff with. Now we're planning to double date with our SOs, maybe even a couple's trip together. On dating apps I always did a fun first date. Go-karts, Top Golf, and small concert. If you go right at dinner, movie, you won't really learn much about each other. You might meet someone fun, and if not, you can duck out and they can find a new group. My approach was always coffee or happy hour for a first meet. It's not even a date, just two people, who are in the market to meet someone, having a conversation and seeing if there is potential chemistry. This was when I was single in my early 40s after a divorce. I was upfront. A first meeting would be the same as if we were both in line at Starbucks and we struck up a conversation in line, got our coffee, and kept talking. This was one way people met in the great before online dating. Advantages to this approach: even if you buy, you are out less than $20. You aren't locked into a long activity if the spark isn't there. Dinner, you are captive till the meal is done. It reduces the pressure of being a date, but you know that the other person is, likely, available if things go well. The most important thing, I think, is that you go into it with zero expectations and with only the goal of spending some time getting to know another human being. The most important thing, I think, is that you go into it with zero expectations and with only the goal of spending some time getting to know another human being. Great takeaway. I've got the talk I'm not interested in that way, and just asked if they wanted to be friend. Then I've kept contact and creeped my way into a friendship. This only works if nothing major happened. I'll be honest, if you and your friends fence, why wouldn't you just be constantly sword fighting? What does sword fighting have to do with buying stolen goods? I've had so much trouble trying to fence this stolen rapier. People just keep trying to fight me. I'm sure they play with each other's sabers from time to time. A few years back I wanted to get into fencing. Looked up fencing with my mom. Got a bunch of companies that will fence your yard. Related, I drink a F-ton and I don't have many friends. Me too. I can't believe I finally found you, friend. Yes, there's 3 of us. What can we do to make this official? Room for one more? Yes. OMG guys. We're like 4 friends for life now. Be sure to only talk once a month like true friends. A few times a year like most friends? On holidays like actual friends? I'll message you only when Facebook reminds me it's your birthday, like actual friends. Do you have a basement? It's easier to keep your friends if you lock them in one. Living in his basement. Can confirm this. I'm only speaking from my personal experience, but generally, once you lock someone in your basement, they stop being your friend. That wears off after a while and they eventually realize they like you again. I'm currently in recovery and have absolutely no effing friends. 4 years into recovery, heroin, and 0 friends. Moved to a new state to get clean and just talk to family and people at work. But I'm in my 30s and had a really fun, robust social life until my late 20s when I somehow got into heroin. So I don't feel like I'm missing anything, though it'd be nice to hang. If I went to NA/AA I'm sure I'd find friends, but there's too much relapsing in those rooms and I'm sick of people I know dropping dead. A little over 5 years clean from heroin here. Made some close acquaintances in NA early on, but so many of my friends have died that I think my brain just doesn't let me get close enough to anyone to be friends. I quit going to NA after a few years clean, and while I greatly appreciate the support I got from the rooms early on, I just kind of drifted away from it. It's weird. I've always been a really sociable person and I had so many friends in high school. I went to prison for a while in my early 20s and my cellmate, a guy in his 60s, told me that you can only count your true friends on one hand and you can find out who they are by calling them from prison and seeing if they answer. Only 2 of them answered and they're both dead now. I still sometimes talk to a guy I was really close with for most of my childhood, but we don't hang out or anything. I have a girlfriend and I play Destiny online with a few people pretty regularly. They're probably the closest thing I have to friends. I just don't see myself ever making new friends and, honestly, I'm not even very sad about that. Maybe it was all the time in jails, prison, and rehabs, but I just kind of learned to be okay alone. I didn't get any other choice, you know. Crap can be extremely effed. Trying to get sober myself. If you get lonely and want to chat or play video games, DM me. You see someone doing something you do or like to do or are curious, hit M with a compliment and then with a follow-up question. Met some of my best friends because I liked the colon they were wearing, haha. Edit, cologne. Keeping the error. I am not myself today. Edit, damn you people and the unrelenting colon comments. Edit, thank you for running the train on me with rewards. I love the smell of your colon, want to be friends? Works for dogs. My dog sniffs other dogs and then is extremely insulted when they try to sniff her. She's basically like, WTF, this dog is crazy. Macy, you literally sniffed their butt. Every time she walks away with a surprised Pikachu face that they attempted to sniff hers. She has lots of do as I say not as I do views about the world, though. Dogs be like. Good analogy. The trick is to be positive, always be in a prostate. I find offering free Super Bowl tickets draws a lot of potential friends. As long as you're not a butthole, you should be fine. What if they end up being a piece of crap though? Just tell them they need to spray more colon because they stink. Pretty clever. Snuck that one in the back door. If you're not sure what to say, you've just got to sphincter yourself. What would I want someone to say to me? I too appreciate a fashionable colon. Username checks out. Volunteer. I became a Girl Scout leader and have become friends with some of the other leaders and some of the parents from my troop. Is that you, Beverly Hills housewife Phyllis Niffler? Hobbies edit, too many comments to reply to. Thanks, for the awards, however put it towards charity I have no use for them. Hobbies alone was a broad statement. Basically, the goal is to meet new people. Seek discomfort is a good phrase and a good model presentation of how to meet new people. Google their YouTube channel. Hobbies can be good, but it's hard to find the small groups that have no internet presence. Volunteering, charity work, etc. is more aimed at helping X, while you benefit in socializing. My anecdote, others may vary. The other fishing, hunting, etc. groups come from making connections. Door knocking, leaving letter etc. asking for permission and slowly building a blue book of properties to hunt and fish while cleaning up their property in return. Plus you can ask if they want me to take anyone in their family with me or can I bring a person over etc. after trust is built. Lastly, if anyone reads my handle. It's okay to be alone. I'm alone but not lonely. I have Reddit to come socialize with you buttholes. But it's okay to only have a handful friends you connect with. The key aspect of friendship is respect. If they don't respect your time nor you as a person as you do them, they aren't your friend. Edit, the YouTube channel isn't Seek Discomfort, that's their catchphrase, it is Yes Theory without the quotations. YouTube link. I second this. It's significantly easier to make friends and connect, especially if you're shy, if you have mutual interests, even if you don't share the same level of enjoyment in the hobby. It's also a great way to get closer to someone if you do already know them, and opens up an opportunity to have them talk about themselves so you can learn more about them and who they are. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.